Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. And unfortunately, Mr. Magazine had to bow out this week. I'm going to be doing the BOLO alone. Thank you for understanding over here. He's got a lot going on and going out of town and all of that. So, going to do the BOLO alone, just doing my own items. Let us get started. We won't have his wiseacre answers here, but we'll make do. Rudolph Valentino, Agnes Ayers, The Chic Program, Bluebird Theater, 1921. Took a $30 offer on this. Rudolph Valentino is actually definitely an SEO. Very, very popular. Now, the younger people probably only know Rudolph Valentino, and even by then they're not really younger, from Manic Monday, I believe the mentions Kissing Valentino by a Stream or something or other like that. So that is a more recent, and when I say more recent, 1980s, so it's 40-year-old reference to Rudolph Valentino. Always sells. If you see something Valentino and you can pick it up at a good price, pick it up. Valentino still sells, has a lot of people really collecting, just to let you know. Subway Cafe. Now, is that the most awesome Art Deco looking item right over there? 507 menu, Chicago, 1930s Art Deco, longest bar in the world. I'd never heard of it before. I did a little bit of research on it. Anything from the Subway Cafe in Chicago does sell. This one, 3 bids, $64. So definitely do keep your eyes open for anything Subway Cafe. And this is a little bit of a change for me. I think they wanted $8 for this at the estate sale, something rather like that. Years ago, I never would have looked twice at this because I was always buying things $1, $2, and I would have said, I'm not paying $8. I'm moving up, biting the bullet a little more, willing to risk a little more money, and it seems to be paying off because this would have just sat there for the $8, or I would have tried to go back and pick it up for $4 the next day. I just said, that looks really nice. I think it's going to sell. And sure enough, it did for $64. So getting a little bit of courage is definitely helping. Gold Circle sale catalog, September 1976, Evel Knievel, $6 Million Man. I think it took a $20 offer on this. Does have the line, well, they're the weird black and white illustrations over here, but you see Evel Knievel, see $6 Million Man. Cool looking outfit right over there, and more of the shoes. Other toys including Barbie. I don't think I had room to put Barbie up there. Hot Wheels, 57 cents for the Hot Wheels. Just a great little ad circular, but that's all that it is a circular. I think it probably, it was in the newspaper. It was literally just in the newspaper, and still went for $20 on that. So you just absolutely never know. A lot of people would have just tossed it or used it for packing material. So don't do that. Madison, Indiana, Hydroplane Heritage, Frank Farley, Ron Harson signed softcover book, $28. I bring this up because I did mention I went to a library sale a while ago, and the sale itself didn't have anything, but they did have the library has a regular book sales section. And this was in there, and I think I pulled 5 books, all of which were autographed out of there for a few dollars a piece. And this one ended up going for $28, so it certainly paid for everything that I bought that day. So you never know. A lot of times things are autographed inside. Be the one looking for them. Know the kinds of books that tend to be autographed, and you'll find a lot of them. Banners, I don't know. Manhattan Night Patrol signed contract, 1915, 124 East 61st Street. You saw this in a haul video from Springfield back in 2024. I bought a big pile of these, all with different addresses and different signatures on them. Finally sold one. I think I paid $150 or something like that. I forget now. You have to watch the video. I paid a fair amount for the entire pile of them, but I've actually sold one at this point. I knew they would sell eventually. They just are not moving like I thought they would. But they are all one of a kind, and they do have the signature on them of the homeowner and the like and the address. My thought is either the people with that last name or the people who live in that address now would probably be interested in it. So kind of a neat item, and I took a chance on it. And again, we will eventually make money. Bangor and Urastock Railroad 55 annual report from 1948, $32. People do like the old annual reports for the railroad and trains, so do pick them up if you see them out there. This I actually bought. You would have seen this in a haul video as well. I'm sensing a theme here. This was for the Ephemera Fair 45 haul video, one of the 3 dealers that I bought from. New England Theocracy H.F. Uden hardcover book, 1859. $40 this went for. The problem I had with this one over here, I was able to do that. It's kind of fallen apart. And one thing that I did is I bagged it for storage. Make sure that you do that. If you do have things that are in rougher shape, bag them for storage. That way they don't get any worse. Bad picture, but I couldn't really do a good picture because if I sat there and I kind of, not fanned, but kind of laid it out that way, I'm afraid that it would have been really, really bad for the book, if I had sat it out that way. So I ended up doing it this way and hoping that the book itself would be something somebody wanted as opposed to the picture. The picture certainly did not sell it. That's the reason why. Sometimes you need to be careful. You'll notice that a lot of times with some magazines and the like, the glue-bound ones, you got to be careful when you're listing as well because you start opening them up to get a really good picture inside, and then you hear the crack of the glue and you go, oh, I just broke the binding. Does happen. So be very, very careful when you're taking the pictures. Sometimes you end up doing damage yourself. I'm always super careful now with the glued ones. The stapled ones, you've got a lot, the magazines, you have a lot more ability to do so, but the glued ones are tough. Fender Guitar, Frontline Magazine, number 20, fall 1996, Jimi Hendrix. Surprised it took 3 years to sell with Jimmy on the cover. Great, great cover of him. But it did end up selling. It was something I bought on eBay back in the day. One of the last items I bought on eBay to resell. I bought a pile of these. I made money off of them, but certainly didn't fly off the shelf. Neat item, though, certainly. And if you do see it out there, it goes for about $20. Coronet Magazine, October 1964, Frank Sinatra, Bob Barker, 4 bids, $26. You find the coronets, but you don't find them into the 60s very often. They tend to be the 40s and 50s, or 50s primarily, some 40s you'll see out there. I bought this at an estate sale, and I said, oh, I don't see these newer ones very often. Newer, it's still 60 years old. But I ended up selling it bid with multiple bids, so can't argue with that. Photo Screen Magazine, Frank Sinatra, Rowan and Martin, Diane Cannon, 1969, $22.13. I did take a $15 offer, I believe, on it, something like that. It took 12 years to sell. Sometimes you just absolutely never know. It's got to get lost in the shuffle at some point. May have sold as well because the prior Frank Sinatra magazine sold, so it may have caught somebody's attention when they were bidding on the other Sinatra. And that's why I always say buy similar things, and you'd be surprised how they'll be able to move product that's been sitting for a long, long time. And the last item, tanks for your letter. See what they did there? Unused puzzle, letter, vintage, Fresno Art Novelty, WW2, 1944. So basically it was a puzzle that you would send out to people, and they would be able to take it apart and put it back together as need be. Fun thing. You'd write a letter on it, and they'd be able to take it apart. So this was obviously unused and still sealed. Kind of an interesting little novelty idea there, WW2. I think it went for $25. I'd never seen anything like this before. Now, if you happen to see it, Hopefully it helps you a little bit too. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.